Hello and welcome back after a long time to the I'm Hungry podcast. I'm Foster,
I'm Daniel.
and we've been gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly due to me. I've been very busy this past semester, specifically with rushing my fraternity. Um, just to talk about that a little bit, I guess. I mean, like
Yeah.
that
So you
took
said you
up.
finished it?
Yeah, so like I'm done pledging now. I'm in the fraternity. Like I'm an active, or I'm what's called a junior active. So
Mm.
it's like yeah, I'm like it's like a first year active. It's like you're not technically a full like you are a full active. Like you have all the rights, but they just call you a junior active because you're younger.
The freshman hate still stands.
Basically. But
Cool.
yeah,
Well, congratulations.
um,
What's wrong with your voice? Your voice sounds like
I'm
hoarse or
sick.
something.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like
I got
just normal cold or
yeah,
something?
just normal. Hang on, turn my fan. Just normal sick, not COVID or anything.
All right, nice. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I got a test the other day and it came back negative. So yeah, I'm not. But like, it was sucked because it was like right after I finished pledging. I think like my body was just like I went from like doing all this stuff like every day for so long, like just constant like boom 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 boom
Yeah.
to like I literally just stayed inside like all day the first day that I was done. Like I just stayed in bed like all day.
Yeah,
And
right.
then
And
my
then it's just
body
kind
was just like, all
of
right, it's time to just like
like
let everything out now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I got so like I had whatever this is. I don't know. It might be like I think it's like a sinus infection or like
Yeah,
something.
I believe that.
I have like a little bit of a cough too, as well as like runny nose and shit like that. And then I also got pink eye
Oh
at the
no.
same time. So
Really? Wait, like
yeah,
right after you finished pledging?
yeah. So
Wow,
I
that
was
sucks.
like, what the fuck? But yeah, so I'm doing better now though. Like I'm feeling a lot better. I just got a haircut today. It's a nice haircut. I feel good.
Nice.
You know,
Sweet.
I'm gonna go see a movie later today. I'm gonna go see that Demon Slayer movie.
Oh,
I don't
I
know if
haven't heard of that.
it's an anime movie. It's like
Oh, cool.
shown in like select theaters, and there's one nearby that's showing it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go see that. But
Sweet.
yeah, pledging a fraternity. So I guess if we have any listeners out there that are thinking about pledging a fraternity, I can't speak on sororities if you're a girl, but maybe we can get a guest in here one day if we do.
Yeah.
If we do end to start getting guests, we've been talking about
Yes.
that for so long. But maybe we get a sorority girl in here one of these days, and she can talk about her process. But as far as pledging a fraternity goes, it's hard. It is a full time job. Like it took up like as you can like Daniel can attest. He would text me every week, be like, "You want to do? I'm hungry," and I'd be like, "I literally can't. Like I have this to do." Like it
So
was
wait, are you allowed to say like what you were doing or no?
no, like I'm not allowed to
Why?
say. I'm not allowed to say like the specifics of like what I. Well, I mean, like we would just do things that like pertain to the fraternity. So I'd have to like know facts about like the fraternity and like just know like so for example like the founders and where it was founded, the date it was founded, the values of the fraternity, like the code of conduct, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I can't exactly go into detail on like some of the other things because the first value is silence. So the first value, so I can't. It's got to be lip locked. But
Gotta be silent.
it's a full time job. It is very busy and I yeah. It's just like, but like honestly, I'm really glad that I did it because at least first semester, like if you were listening to the podcast, if you go back in the first semester ones, I was like sad a lot of the time. I was just like, and that most of it was born out of like complacency of just like sitting in my dorm all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So
Definitely.
at least this semester I was out and doing stuff like all the time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Um,
That's cool.
and like my frat specifically, they put a lot of emphasis on like brotherhood. So like by the end of it, like we do some things that like make it so that like by the end of it, by the end of the process, you know like every single guy like that's around.
Yeah.
Like so like I can name like pretty much every guy in the frat. And
How
like
many people are there?
there's like well there's 108 active members right now, not including my class, but not all of them are always showing up and around. So I could name probably about like 65, 70 of them. I want
Wow.
to
Yeah.
say because
That's nice.
that's like who's around usually.
Yeah. Impressive.
So yeah, but yeah, it's like it's nice because I I like the guys and I'm done with all the shitty parts. So now I'm ready to like have a good time.
Nice.
And as well, like it's not like I don't have to spend all my time with the fraternity anymore. Like I can also like hang out with my other friends, like my material science friends, and do other stuff as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
But now I always have like the boys, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, honestly, like, that's what I've been doing most of this semester. Um, when did we have our last episode? I
I
can't
don't
remember
know. It
because
was a long.
there's some other stuff that went down too. Like I got like officially diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Yeah. We mentioned them in the last one.
Did we mention that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we
So
talked about that. So it
that
was like after that. I feel like it was right after that.
that was
Or
like
some.
right when I started pledging. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like so I've just been dealing with that. It's been going pretty decent, honestly. Like I've been taking like some medications and they gave me some like mood stabilizers and they gave me some Adderall for my ADHD and
Yeah. Right.
excuse me. It's been going well. Like I feel like the mood stabilizers are actually helping me like stay pretty consistent.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I remember. I think like the last time we talked about it, it was like the like your therapist or doctor, whoever was like, let's deal with the ADHD first, and then like see what to do about
Okay, yeah.
bipolar. So,
Yeah, so
so
we ended up like getting mood stabilizers as well on top of those.
nice. Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
cool. Glad it's going well. That's
Yeah,
nice.
honestly, it was a very rocky semester, not going to lie.
Yeah.
It was very
Seems like
rocky
it.
dealing with the fraternity, dealing with school, dealing with all that.
Yeah.
Um, but right now, I feel like we're at the end of it, and I'm feeling good. And you know, what have you been
Yeah.
up to?
So,
Like, I haven't.
yeah, I know. Let's see. Like, I don't know if I can go back. I still don't really remember when exactly we had our last episode, but
Like sometime in
uh,
like
like
after
March.
like sometime after February 19th,
Oh
because
my goodness, so it's been almost like 2 months.
yeah,
Jeez. Well, yeah. So I've just been doing school. I have both vaccines now. Uh,
I'm still
I
not
have like,
vaccinated. I need to get that done.
oh yeah,
You have both
yeah. I mean,
vaccines, so you have like
I've got like 1 week to go until I'm like done, basically.
wait, so you have one vaccine and you're getting like two doses, or you have both vaccines, like
I
the
have both.
Moderna?
I have both doses. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
Sorry, I
like you
have
have
both
the
doses. No, no, I didn't get like both. Like I got all the
extra
vaccines.
vaccine.
No, no, I got both doses of the Pfizer vaccine, and I have 1 more week until like my 2 weeks are done. Like after you get the second dose, you have to wait 2 weeks, and then you're like, hey, you have maximum immunity or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and after that, I'm planning on like hanging out with people more in person. I have been hanging out with more people from my dorm recently in person. Like we did. There's some like girls who live in the room like right next to me. Well, I like kind of knew, and they like invited me to do some stuff, and so we were watching like Captain or what is it, Falcon and the Winter Soldier
Oh
on
yeah.
Fridays for like the last few of those episodes. Uh, so fun. We did like done some other fun stuff, and I've played chess with some other people in my hall. I still haven't. I've been asking Sam to play chess, and our
Yeah.
friend Sam, and I have so many. Like I'm like, you want to play? I like see him around. I'm like, you want to play it? You want to like get together and play chess like tomorrow or something? He's like, yeah, that works for me. And then I text him on that day, and he doesn't respond. He's
Damn.
like, oh my god. And it's been like I have been asking him since the beginning of this semester, since like I got
Sheesh.
that stuff, and he's like, always like somehow doesn't doesn't see my messages or just doesn't like ghost. He just ghosts me or
Come
whatever.
on, Sam.
And
Come
he's like,
on.
yeah, we've had dinner too. Like we've done other stuff. It's just chess specifically. Like
Maybe it
it
just
just
slips his
never works
mind.
out. Yeah,
You need
he's
to like get him.
scared.
You need to get him to sit down and play an actual game. Then,
I know.
if he
Well,
can't,
that's
if
what
he
I'm trying
can't
to do.
like, if he can't like commit to like playing it like on the phone with the notifications, because
No, I'm trying to get him to like actually meet. Like, cause he's in my dorm, and I'm like I see him around. I'm like, and I have the nice chess stuff. So it's like I am trying to actually do it like in person, and he like still like flakes out.
damn, maybe he's scared.
I think it is. I think that's what it is.
He
He's
doesn't want to
scared.
lose.
I know. He's got to train. He feels like he's gonna lose or something. But or at some point I'll play with him. But yeah, so like now that I'm almost vaccinated completely, I'm a lot more comfortable
Like
hanging
going
with
out and
around
doing
with people
stuff.
with like without masks and stuff. And besides that, like just normal school stuff. I've had my routine down pretty well for in terms of like homework and stuff. Um, I'm destroying my organic chemistry class.
Absolutely massacring
Yes, indeed. Like the last quiz that we have a quiz every week on like the new chapter.
it. Nice.
And the last one that we had was a really complicated chapter. It was like cumulative stuff from like 3 weeks before. And it's like all about like complicated synthesis and stuff. And then it was like even more. It was like the type of chapter where it's like you have to know like 5 different types of reactions that have like very specific mechanisms and stuff. So it's like not just a like if you understand the concepts, you can apply them and you'll be fine. It's like you have to memorize what happens in each of these. Like if it gives you the name of a reaction, you have to know what that means. So it's like I didn't I got the vaccine that week
Yeah.
and for my second dose of the vaccine, had a fever for 24 hours and slept through my whole chemistry class. And then
Damn.
the next class, we have 2 classes a week, and the next class, I like didn't take notes during that one either. And there was like a decent reason why. I forget exactly why though, but I didn't take notes in that one, so I had like no notes. But so we have a quiz on Saturday, and the homework is due like Sunday, or we have a quiz from Friday, like it opens on Friday and is closes on Saturday. So
Yeah.
Friday night, I watched the lecture videos and took all the notes that I'd missed, and studied that, and then did the homework all that night. And then the next day, I like reviewed it, took the quiz, and got a 95, which is like up there with like the better ones that I've
Let's
had.
go. Nice.
So I was just like, yeah, you know what, I chemistry god.
You're
That's me.
balling. You're balling.
That was nice. But otherwise, just been doing other class stuff
Yeah.
and music. I've
Nice.
been rehearsing with the Scottsdale Community College Orchestra. I think I talked about that I was doing that.
I don't remember you talking about this.
Oh, okay. Well, so I'm still like working on the first movement of my piano concerto, and after I did the competition, a little while after that, I got in touch with Miss Wright. She was my orchestra teacher at high school, and she's also the director of the SCC orchestra.
Oh
And so I was
yeah.
like, "Would you guys be interested in playing the orchestra accompaniment for me? Or like, could I come and
Yeah.
play the concerto with you?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so for like this week, I'm actually visiting home, and like 2 weeks ago, I visited as well. And I'm coming home like on Thursday so that I can go to SCC rehearsal, and it's really fun because they've got like, there's only like 15 or so people in the orchestra right now, but they have enough parts to fill out the accompaniment. And it sounds, it's not like great, but it sounds like the accompaniment, and it's really fun to play the whole piano part with like an actual orchestra. So that's kind of my
Yeah,
current
that's pretty
music
dope.
project. Yeah.
Have
And
you?
yeah, besides that, I mean, just doing stuff.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to the end of the semester for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Have you seen this? I saw this one video on YouTube the other day. It was like this guy, and he's like never listened to classical music in his life. And he's like reacting to Beethoven, reacting to like his Fifth Symphony or something like that. And
Yeah.
he gets like super into it, and he's like, "Damn!" He's like, "Whoa, that was amazing." I thought I thought about you when I saw that. I forgot I was gonna send it to you. I forgot though, but I was like, "Damn, I'll probably
That's
like
cool.
this." I need
So
to send it to you.
had he actually never
No,
heard
he never listened to classical music like at all, like any
Wow.
classical music ever. and he listened to Beethoven. And he was like closing his eyes, and he was like, "Oh wow!" And like after every movement, he'd like be like, "This is the story I'm getting." Like he's like, it's like sad, and there's a guy like walking down the street, and and then the second movement, he's like, all of a sudden it's like happy now. I want to know like what happened. Like, he was like talking about like a story. It's pretty interesting. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that's neat. I kind of want to see that. Yeah, you should send that to me because I want to see like that's cool if he's like actually had never heard it before. Like I wonder because like when I was little, like they would play classical music for us in like elementary school, right, and tell us like you know like try and imagine a story or something. But like I didn't actually enjoy listening to classical music. Like actually enjoy. I could like listen to it and like force myself to come up with a story or something, or some meaning behind it. But I didn't actually like get that naturally until like I actually started orchestra, and it was mostly like in high school orchestra, and I was like, I get it now. So I wonder if like the guy was like trying really hard, or if he like just naturally is the kind of person who gets that.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's funny. When I was in elementary school, like the way I got introduced to classical music was we had a music class, and my music teacher would like teach us about composers. So we would learn about like Bach and like Mozart and like Handel or like Handel, and like all those guys. And then she had like these old VHS tapes of like there was like movies where like these kids would get like transported back in time, and they'd like go on these little misadventures with these ancient composers, and they'd be like running around castles and stuff, and their music would be playing in the background. And then like at the end of the movie, they'd be like, I finally have the inspiration now to like finish my like movement or something like that. And so like I didn't realize it at that, but like I was actually like learning about like lots of composers, I guess, at the time. And
nice.
Now I know a little bit about classical music. So thanks, Miss Davis.
I never knew that was like I don't think I'd ever seen any of those. That's really funny.
Like looking back on it, that was actually pretty neat, I guess. Like I'd never seen anything like that before.
The only like thing similar to that I can remember is we watched like Beethoven Lives Upstairs, or My Neighbor is Beethoven, or something. It was like some really not really old, but it was like an old low budget movie about like a kid who has Beethoven for a neighbor in his like late years, so he's like going deaf and stuff. And it was a very cringy movie, but it had a kind of, and that's what I'm kind of imagining. It's like, and it was informative to some extent.
That's funny.
But, yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, what else? Let's see. What else did I do this semester? Oh yeah, did I tell you about my math class?
I don't know.
I'm literally like failing my math class. I have to retake it over summer.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's Calc 2.
What math is it?
Calc 2.
Okay.
So like my teacher, literally the worst teacher I've ever had. Like ever.
Oh, I think
so.
Is this
like
the guy who like during a test like a student had trouble and he like didn't help him?
No, that was last semester. So I gotta be in that class. But this semester, even worse. Like.
Oh no.
So this guy, just to start off, what do you think his rating is on Rate My Professor? 1 through 5.
2.5.
1.5.
Oh.
He has a 1.5 out of 5 on Rate My Professor.
Oh man.
So that like I showed that to one of my friends, and my friend literally was like, "What the fuck?" Like I didn't even think that was possible. Like that's the lowest I've ever seen. So this guy, right? He's a younger guy. All right, so like a little bit of slack, I guess, maybe like the smidge. This is how he teaches. Like we go into class, and he does like the reverse strategy where we go into class, and he's like, "All right, did you guys do the homework?" And we're like, "Yes." And he's like, "Do you guys have any questions?" And we're on Zoom, right? So no one says anything. No one. Everybody's just silence. And he's like, "All right." And then he opens out breakout rooms, sends us in there, and just assigns us pages to read in the textbook, and like do. What? And that's our class, and we do that all class, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh my goodness.
That's like, the entire class.
At all? Like, does he do any lectures or
no?
Notes or,
no. We just read the textbook. It's the most bullshit thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Like, literally, I thought, like, no offense, Mr. Walls, if you're listening, no offense, I thought your class was bad. Like, I genuinely did not enjoy your class for the 3 years that I was in it. But, like, if I could go back to you right now, I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, literally, in a second, because this guy is the worst I've ever had. And, I would talk to this guy, and I'd be like, hey, like, the website isn't working for like the homework, and like I have to go to work in like an hour, and this is when I was still working at Taco Bell. I was like,
Yeah.
I have to go to work in an hour, and it's due at midnight, but I have to go to work at 10, and I'm trying to do it early before I go to work, but the website's not working, and he emails me back. He's like, well, I don't see any downage on the website, so yeah. And I'm like,
No,
he basically just leaves me out to dry. And like I miss like when I got like diagnosed with my bipolar, like right after I got diagnosed, I was in like a pretty bad spot, and I just like didn't really have any motivation. I missed a lot of assignments and stuff.
Yeah,
and
right.
when I was getting back into it, I emailed him. I was like, hey, I'm sorry that I've been sort of absent for a while, but like this just happened to me, and like it's been hard to deal with, but like I'm trying to get back into it now. Like I missed those assignments. Can I like make them up, or do you have any like extra credit I could do? And he's just like, no, like I don't have any extra credit, and I don't really do missing assignments. But don't worry, because like some assignments will be dropped, like the lowest grades. And I was like,
Not really much help.
that's not what I like would like to do. Like I would like to make it up, but like,
Yeah.
and he's also like, I ask him questions about like some things in the class and like how the class works, and he goes, I actually don't make the curriculum. He's like, I actually don't like write this curriculum up. This is actually just like a curriculum that like I is like standard throughout the like the math courses. So
Yeah.
I don't really control anything about it. And I'm like, well, what the fuck are you here for then? Because you don't teach the class. We read out of the textbook, so you don't teach us. You don't like make the curriculum. You don't proctor the test because it's in lockdown browser. What? Who are you? Why are you here? What are you like? You're a TA.
He literally just wait. Is he actually a TA?
No, he's the teacher. Like he's the professor. And we have a TA in the class. And he doesn't do anything either, because why would we need the TA if the teacher is a TA? Like it just it frustrates me so much.
It's like the only thing he's there for is to facilitate making breakout rooms for you to read the textbook with
Exactly. Like he's a technician.
It's just the IT guy.
Yeah, like who is this? Like who are you? Why are you
so
teaching
bad.
Calc 2? But
Sucks.
yeah, so just like I literally like I was at a point where I was just like failing so bad, and I like talked to my academic advisor, and I was just like, I'm not gonna pass this class this semester. And she was like, all right, if you feel like that. And I talked to my mom, and I like told her all this stuff I just told you, and she was like, yeah, then you can just take it over summer.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
what I'm doing. And like
do you not, did you like withdraw or something?
that's the fucked part. I wanted to, and I had time, but if I withdrew from Calc 2, I would have had to withdraw from physics as well, from my physics class and my physics lab, because they're like core requisites is what they were called. So they're like dependent on each other or something like that.
But why would you what? If you're still gonna take, why would
I don't know.
that doesn't make any sense at all. Why would they be linked in a way that like means you can't withdraw something you're gonna fail and take over the summer?
That's what I was confused about, but that's what my academic advisor told me, was that like if I withdraw from math, I have to withdraw from physics as well, and I don't want to do that because then that's like half my credits for the semester.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Yeah, it's so pissed. So like,
So you're just like
I just ignore all the assignments.
Yeah, right.
And like, it's just like it's the worst class I've ever taken. But yeah, and like and for everybody that's listening right now, like I've passed Calc 2 before. Like I took that shit in high school. Like me and Daniel took that together. And like, granted, I'm not the best math student. I'll give you that. But like, I passed with a B. Like, I passed this my junior year of high school with a B. So I know how to do math, and I know how to like get a good grade. It's just like this course and like how it was set up, and who was teaching it, and like the format and like everything about it was just so fucked that like I couldn't, like I just could not. And it's so messed up.
Also, lesson to the audience there, I guess, is sometimes you just get a bad class, I guess,
Sometimes you
right?
just get sometimes you just get fucked. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Moral of the story.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
So now I have to take it over summer, but I guess that won't be the end of the world.
Yeah. And I mean, hopefully the format there will be better.
Yeah.
Is it like,
I looked up the teacher and he's a lot better. So
okay.
he's got like
Is it, so it's going to be like, is it going to be a live class or is it going to be like he's
I
the
think
proctor?
it'll be online again. I'm not sure.
Okay. Or I mean, like, is it going to be like live Zoom meetings or is it going to be like a platform where you just go on every day and do it at your own pace?
I think it's gonna be Zoom meetings.
Okay. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends though, because this guy was Zoom meetings and
Yeah, but like worst comes to worst, like I'm not doing 5 other classes at the same time.
yeah.
So
Right.
if I have to read the book, I'll just read the fucking book because
Yeah.
it's one class that I'm doing, and it's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. My,
So
my physics class is no, I mean, not nearly as bad as that, but that's the class that I don't like saying that I don't like it because it's not like the professor's cool and I'm learning stuff. It's just it's like I don't like it because of that. Remember that first exam? I got like a 57 on or something.
yeah.
It was just so like immediately it was like
Excuse me.
morale blow, and so I've just kind of I've like had a love hate, not even a love, but like a like hate relationship with it ever since. But I've done well enough on everything else that I believe I only need a 67% on the final to get an A. I'm
That's
not sure how much I believe that because I didn't think it was going to be that good, but
it's very good.
like, yeah. So hopefully I can do that, and then hope. Well, and if not, I'm gonna try my. Obviously, I'm gonna try my best. Try to do it. If I do it, great. If I don't, that's also fine because it's still a B, and I'm done with the class.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Don't have to do it. Yeah, I hope so. It's just that, yeah, I feel like if I study and apply like I have on the rest of the exams, I should be okay. Hope so. But yeah, I that's nothing compared to the class that you were just talking about. That's why I thought of that.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's just like it's so weird because like I feel like the average like quality for the professors or classes in college is so much lower, but the minimums and like maximums are much higher
oh
in
yeah,
high school. Like
definitely.
the extrema are like very different, but the so for example like the average for say if we're talking about like on a numerical scale, the average for high school class would be like a 6.5, you know.
Mm-hmm. Like out of 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
okay.
quality wise. But the average for college is like a probably like a 4, maybe 3, maybe 3.5. But you very rarely in high school would you get like a 10, or very rarely in high school would you get like a 2 or like a
Yeah,
1.
right.
But in college, it's like you might get a 1, you might get a
Yeah,
2, but you also
yeah,
might get a 10, and you might get a 9 or something like that. But
yeah.
it's so like it's just like a grab bag. Like you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get.
Yeah, I think one thing is too, like professors in college are much less willing to change their teaching style based on how their students are doing. It's like you get a professor and they're gonna stick with however they do it, they're doing that, and you gotta like it might work for some students, but some students might be like, this is, I can't do this, but they don't care. And like in high school, if students come to the teacher in high school and are like, I really don't like, or I can't do the teaching style, it's like more than likely that the teacher will help them out, unless you somehow did get like a 1 or a 2. But it's like, they're more flexible typically than college professors
Yeah.
to the large extent. Like college professors can be flexible with like giving you extra help and stuff, but they're not going to like give you different options, as many options I feel like as high school teachers do. So,
Yeah. I feel like that's probably because like just the class sizes as well.
yeah, right. There's just they can't cater.
Yeah. I'm still enjoying my major classes. I
Nice.
still think material science is baller.
Sweet. That's
Um,
good.
I'm really thinking about getting a fashion minor.
Yeah, you mentioned that. That's
And
pretty
like
cool.
everybody I've talked to like says it's like that's like super cool and like practical combo. Like I took a fashion retailing class this semester, and I did an honors contract for it, which is like since I'm in Barrett, you need to do like honors credits, and
Yeah,
you
right.
can make a non-honors class an honors class by doing an honors contract.
Yeah, we have the same thing.
So
That's
yeah, it
cool.
just entails like some extra work or like a little presentation that you put together. And I did that, and this teacher knew that I loved sneakers, so she was like to like present a collab with like a celebrity or like two brands um, that you think would be like practical and like present it as if you were presenting it like to like a board meeting or something within the company.
Yeah.
And she invited like the footwear professor at ASU to like sit in on it as well.
Oh, nice.
And they were just like they were both like I was talking to both of them and they were like, yeah, no, like your major seems super like practical for especially the fashion industry since like we're like the fashion industry is moving in more of a like sustainable sort of like renewable direction because
Yeah.
it's like the second most like polluting industry on the planet is
Oh, really?
the fashion industry. Yeah,
Wow.
like most wasteful industry or second most wasteful industry. So like material science, like coming up with more sustainable things, could be a real big thing in the fashion industry, and that's something that consumers are looking at a lot too, a lot as
Yeah.
well. They're buying more sustainable brands. They're buying more sustainable sort of items.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they were like, yeah, like it's super practical. Like you could really do something there. So
Yeah.
it's very it's filling me with a lot of confidence and filling me with a lot of like excitement for my future and my possible careers.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, it does seem like a very practical combo. So that's awesome. Yeah. I'm also still. I also feel like chemical engineering is the major for me still. Like just doing organic chemistry stuff, even though I'm like it's definitely very basic stuff so far, but just the idea of designing reactions to, like you like figuring out what you want to make first of all sounds fun. Like you have a problem and you design. I don't know if this is how it works, but maybe you have a problem and you design a molecule that solves the problem, and then you have to figure out how to synthesize it, and then that's a whole other thing. So it's kind of like I'm. It feels a lot like building Legos or anything else that I've liked to do for throughout my life. Just like building something. You have like engineering, obviously, but you have like a goal in mind, and you just pick the right building blocks in the right order to get you there.
It's real
It's
life
just
Legos.
yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty neat.
yeah, and
What are some like things that you've like have you done any like labs or anything like that with chemical engineering?
yeah, but not like any labs where we've actually gotten to make or do
Uh,
anything.
Damn.
Yeah, it's been online labs. But I know how to do stuff. I just haven't ever done it. Like I know how to do like four different types of analysis of both molecules and like individual molecules and reactions themselves. And
Sick.
like I would know how to be able to like identify a molecule, an unknown molecule after studying it with these different techniques, but I've just never actually done it. Like done the actual procedure with the sample and stuff. But hopefully I'll get more of that next semester, and I think I'll like that too. Like the lab stuff for the most part. Like I've never particularly enjoyed chemistry labs, but I think that's just like uh, residual from high school chemistry labs. Because like chemistry labs are fun in high school, but there's so many like like
Steps.
guidelines and rules and like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you're so restricted. Like
Because you're lumped in with the stupid kids too, and like they gotta make sure that everybody is staying safe. Whereas
yeah,
like
everyone's staying safe
this,
and like exactly
it's
the
like
right thing.
they're expecting that you are gonna be like responsible.
Yeah,
So they give
right.
you a little more
I
leeway.
exactly. So like it's just I've never particularly enjoyed labs where it's like here's what you do, follow these steps, do it.
Yeah.
Um, so and I know that's probably how it's going to be for a while, but I'm looking forward to being able to like just get a challenge and be like, here are your materials, here's your lab, go do it, and then I'm like, yeah, now I got to figure it
Yeah.
out on my
So
own, you
they're
know?
sort of like here's some magnesium, here's some silicon, go make X,
Yeah, right.
and it's sort of like you come up with your own procedure rather than just reading the procedures.
Yeah, like following like exactly what they tell you to do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know when that kind of stuff is gonna happen,
Yeah, that
but
sounds super fun.
yeah,
It's
be like
dope.
Walter White.
Mr. White. Have you seen Breaking Bad? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my favorite show,
But
next to
have
Better
you
Call
seen?
Saul.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna ask you, have you seen Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Um, did you know that like there's a movie starring like the guy who plays Saul? It's
Yeah,
like an
nobody,
action.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
You did?
I did. I love Bob Odenkirk. Like I watched it like as soon as it came out on like streaming.
It was like HBO or
We like
something.
rented it, and my family rented it, and like we watched it remotely.
Is it good?
It is. It's just it's like an action thriller movie.
I
So
heard it was like sort of like John Wick.
yeah, I haven't seen John
I
Wick, but I
haven't
know
either, but
about
like
it.
that's what I
That
heard.
it's like yeah. Okay, so I would bet it's very similar. Like there's not really that much plot or character
Just
development,
lots of
obviously.
action.
Yeah, it's just cool action stuff, and yeah, it's cool. And
That's kind of nice though.
it's a short. It's just like a short, like violent action movie, and it's
Yeah, I
fun.
mean,
So,
like
so
turn your brain off and just be like, ooh, explosions.
yeah, exactly. And it's also cool because it's like more gritty than. I'm guessing it's more realistic than John Wick because there aren't like crazy elaborate like ridiculous explosion or like I don't know like violent scenes or like super crazy physics and stuff. It's like a lot of it is just realistic fights that are just like really long and like brutal. I guess in the in the finale of the movie or whatever it gets a little bit outlandish, but in like the beginning at least it's a lot of like it's cool because it seems more realistic,
That's pretty
and like
dope.
Bob Odenkirk did all of his own like fighting stuff, so it's really cool to see him like actually doing the,
Oh, he did his own
he's
stunts.
got the camera like on him the whole time. He's like punching everybody and doing stuff, so
That's
it's
pretty
fun.
dope.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I should go see it.
Yeah.
Still making my way through Dune.
Oh
The
yeah,
book.
nice. Yeah,
I've read a little bit more. I don't know. I think last time I gave you a page update, I was on like
yeah. You said you were. I don't remember the page, but you said they were like on the planet, and the dad was angry or something.
yeah, I think I was on like 215 or something last time I talked about it. Now I'm on like 285. So not too much advanced,
Not
but
too much. It's progress.
enough. It's getting a little bit dicey now.
Ooh.
Like the trader like made his move. So like that's the whole thing is that, like the
Oh.
build up while the like it starts like they go to the planet and they're like they first get there and they're talking about it and then like they find out like oh there's a traitor here because the sun like something happens with the sun and like he tries to get like assassinated or something and they're like okay who is it like who's trying to like murder us
Yeah.
and like as a reader who it is.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Wow.
the entire time you're like oh my god and you're just like waiting for it to happen and it just happened like he made his move and like it's very so it's like right at the sort of like first climax I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
the kickoff of the conflict I guess.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Like how much more
Oh, a lot. There's a lot more.
focus? Okay, yeah. So it is like
Uh,
like the first like big thing to
yeah.
happen. Cool.
Let's see here. Hold on. Let me get to the end of the book. How many pages? 794. So I'm about 500 pages off.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I just noticed I have a whisk at my desk because I was doing something with it in Nero's tank. I'm like I said, I'm visiting home right now. I'm just noticing like a whisk. Like, what do you think of when you think of where the steel wire goes on a whisk? Like, do you imagine that they all intersect at the same place at the top?
No, I imagine that they intersect like just below each other.
Really? I always forget that that's actually how it works. And I'm just noticing that it's like a spiral pattern the way
Yeah,
they do it.
yeah.
Like the outermost one
It's like the top
forms. Yeah, it's like forms like the outermost part of the
layer.
shell for like
Yeah,
there's like two different shells kind of,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they spiral in if you look at it from above. It's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
cool. I remember
huh.
I used to do the same thing when I was little. Like I would look at the whisk and be like, oh,
I've never like looked at it and I remember like licking it, like after like making waffles or something when I was little, and it's like it would always annoy me that it never felt like I could get all of the tongs with
oh
like one
yeah,
lick. And I
yeah,
guess that's why. I just never thought about why that is.
yeah. I get what you're saying. But
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, it's a
they're
weird
also
thought.
making a movie of Dune.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So I thought so are you like more into it now? Because I remember you were like not, you didn't, you were saying like not much happens or something for like 200 pages and you seemed like you weren't enjoying it that much, but like, is it more exciting now?
Well, like it's sort of like Lord of the Rings in the same way, where it's like not a lot happens, but it's interesting to read just because the author is very good at writing.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, I
So,
remember
but
that.
yeah, not really much has happened yet. Like, there's been a couple things where it's like, ooh, it's exciting, but for the most part, it's a lot of inner monologue and stuff like that. And now the
Yeah.
action's actually starting to kick off. But yeah, they're making a movie of Dune, like a modern Dune. It's got like Timothy Chalamet. Um,
Nice.
yeah, but it looks pretty good. Like I watched the trailer of it the other day,
Oh, sweet.
and
You
it
gotta,
was like,
when is that
whoa.
coming out? Like,
Soon, I think. I don't know. Maybe this year. I gotta
finish the
finish the
book?
book before.
Yeah, finish the book and then you'll be all set for the movie.
It's gonna be split into two parts, though. I think because it's a long ass book, right?
Yeah.
And it's very detailed. So if they want to make it
Huh.
a faithful adaptation, they gotta make it into two parts.
Yeah, exactly. Harry Potter or something.
Yeah. But
Cool.
yeah.
Well,
Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know.
We're sitting at like 42 right now.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to tell the story of the BMO. So, do you know what a BMO is?
Like the thing from Adventure Time.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know what that is, but
No, no,
it's
I
at
don't know
least
what.
the BMO I'm talking about is it's like a kid's toy. It's like a spandex frisbee. So it's like a like imagine like a PVC tube shaped like a ring, like a hoop, like a very
Okay.
thin PVC tube in a big hoop, and then like a spandex sleeve fitted over it very tightly, so it makes like a frisbee. And it has like a hole in the center, so it's more like it's like a flying disc kind of.
Yeah.
Um, and so we got one of those like a long time ago, and we invented a game like Tron Legacy or Tron, like the
Yeah, yeah,
movies
yeah.
or whatever, where it's like you throw the disc at them and their arm
That
gets
movie's
chopped off or
baller.
something. Yeah. So we invented that game, and then like we're still gonna play it like over the summer, like with Owen or whatever, because it's actually like a genuinely fun game because they're really fun, they're really easy to throw, and you can throw them really fast, and it doesn't hurt when you get hit because it's like the PVC is covered in foam and then wrapped
Damn.
in like really soft stuff. So it's a pretty fun game. But we always, because we play with them so violently, they always get broken. Like they go in the pool and then we throw it at each other. Then they get left out in the sun, and then we do more, and then it like snaps in half or something.
Yeah.
So we've gone through like three BMOs uh,
Damn.
over the course of that time, and so it's been a long time since we had one. So Colin's birthday was in March, and I got him the regular size one. I got him like a 3 foot diameter one, so it's like a huge
Yo.
frisbee.
Nice.
It's pretty fun. We were like testing them out at the park by my house, and it was pretty windy. So we were like experimenting with the big one and seeing like if you threw it straight into the wind, would it like boomerang back to you? So like, I tried it and it like kind of worked. And then Colin stood like granny style, like with it between his legs, and threw it, vertically straight up.
Yeah.
Except he didn't throw it straight up. He like threw it so it just made a perfect arc, like behind him, straight behind him, and then landed right on the top of a really tall pine tree. So we had this like
Ah.
giant frisbee stuck in the top of the pine tree, and it wouldn't. It was like it had a hole in the center, so it was like speared through by a branch.
Damn.
So we spent like 3 hours of that weekend,
Just trying
of
to get
that
it
day.
back.
Yeah. So like originally, Colin like ran back to the house, and he came back with a jug, like an old milk jug that he'd filled with water. And the thought was, it's really slippery, so it probably won't get stuck in the tree, and maybe it's like heavy enough to throw up there and kind of bump the thing out. But after 3 tries, it like exploded when it hit the ground, so we were like out of that. And then we tried some like other variations of like Thor hammer style, throwing like a thing strapped to a string and then pulling it down, but we could never actually hit the target. And then finally, we went back to our house and got like all of the piping that we could possibly find. Like, we've got some old PVC and like the pool skimmer,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whole thing. And so then we got under the tree with like all this pipe and slid a bench under it. And then Colin stood on the bench with a pipe, and I would feed the next pipe up to him, and he would connect it. Like, we'd figured out a good way to connect all of them
That's
together.
hilarious.
So we had this like it was like a 50-foot spaghetti noodle thing of PVC that was like waving around in the tree, and we got it all the way up to the top, and I managed to poke the thing down and like flip it out of the tree. It was like greatest victory ever. But yeah, so that was a big ordeal that happened.
Very cool.
Yeah. Anyway, just wanted
That's
to end it with that story.
It's exciting. What should we call this one?
I don't know. What do we call the last one?
The last one was called the ReEmergence because we were talking about they talk about their past months being MIA, but now we've been MIA again.
Like, we've been MIA for like even longer, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not longer.
ReEmergence.
Should we just call it the ReEmergence again?
The ReEmergence for the second time.
Or wait, did you say ReEmergence?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I think that's it.
ReEmergence.
Yeah.
All right.
And then hopefully we won't have a ReEmergence.
But yeah, no, we won't. I don't think we will. Well, we're gonna be in summer.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're gonna continue with a summer audience, but
I think I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be a plan for when the end actually arrives. We still got a couple more weeks.
All right. Goodbye, audience.
See ya.